It's been really bad, really bad. And I sit and say it lightheartedly now because I don't know any other way. It feels like a bad dream.
Was there a point where you thought, I'm not going to get through this, I don't know how I'm going to overcome what's ahead of me?
Yeah, there were many times, especially when I was only like halfway through it, 6 months in, and then to find out it's probably going to go on for another 6 months. And I was already at breaking point at that point. And I just thought, oh my God, how am I going to do another 6 months of this?
Your mum, who you've spoken very eloquently about many times before, how's it been for her?
I was depressed pretty much for most of the year, and for anyone that was constantly around me supporting me, it would be, you know, like sponges around me, soaking up that depression and having to deal with it every day, and the tears and the waking up in the night screaming and crying, and they had to, you know, hold my hand through all of that. So even though it wasn't them in the position, they practically lived it with me.
Let's talk about the fake shake now. Were you targeted? Do you think they came after you on purpose?
Yeah, I do.
Why do you think they targeted you?
Class, I think, is a big part of it.
What do you mean?
It's almost like wanting to put me back in my place where I belong, show me that I didn't belong here. And there are a lot of people, let's say from maybe coming back from better backgrounds or of a higher class, so to speak, that have been involved or had their name mixed up with, you know, Class A drugs, and it all seems quite easily forgiven. They even come back bigger and better.
Were you a little naive, perhaps, in listening to it, or was it easy to fall into his trap?
It was very easy to fall into the trap. The way the movie role was described to me, it was the first ever urban, you know, ghetto British girl doing a Hollywood role. So that made sense to me as to why they came to me. There's other members of the Sting which to me played a big role than Mzee Mahmood. There was the female that was his PA that played the very kind of caring motherly figure, and it was most of, you know, my actions were from taking advice from her. She pretended to be like the person that really wanted me to have it. She'd hold my hand, look at my eyes and say, I know about your mother and everything you went through. You deserve this. All you have to do is this. Go out there and act like this. Be like that. Make him think that you are the girl in the movie. You know, you're going to be playing yourself. This is what you have to make him believe. And I trusted her. And so I went out there and basically talked a load of rubbish, and that's what I did.
That night, Tulisa was finding it hard to cope.
You have a documentary coming out. How cathartic is that going to be for you?
When all of this first happened and I first found out about it, the first thing that I did was, you know, press record on my laptop. And then when the BBC approached me and said, you want to document this year, at first I was like really excited and was like, well, you never guess what, but I've got all this footage, so, you know, here you can have that.
What's in your future, do you think, Tulisa?
I just want to start picking up the pieces and rebuild my life again.
Back in the recording studio?
I've already been recording throughout the years, lots of things in the pipeline.
And back on the X Factor, could we see you gracing our screens on that again? What do you
there's been no conversations about it, but it's something that I would do.